Hey, Todd here, Center Valley Customs, where we don't do anything custom. We just work on pieces of shit. I mean, welcome back if you're back. Welcome if you're not. This week, we're going to pick up where we left off last week. If you didn't watch the video, you're not missing much. I mean, go back and watch it. I need the views. Anyway, if you didn't watch the video from last week, we have a major oil leak coming from my 2004 Volvo S80 2.5T. That's turbo for you people that don't know. This thing's got a bad oil leak coming from the front of the motor. I believe I diagnosed it down to the cam seals, which are behind the cam pulleys, which means we got to pull all this crap apart to replace them. I ordered new cam seals. I got them here. I also ordered inner and outer tie rod ends, sway bar links, and struts. Struts are not here yet. But today we're going to focus on trying to replace these cam seals. So, I already did a little bit of work, and let me get you caught up to speed with where I'm at. Kind of to catch you up to speed, I pulled a bunch of panels off. So the bottom skid plate, you don't need to take that off to do this job. I just did it to try to find my oil leak. But you do, to do this job anyways, have to take this timing cover off, which has two Torx T30 bolts here, and this will come off. And then there's one 10mm bolt down here that allows you to get that front cover off. This one you don't have to take off, but I did just so I could see in there. And then in here, in the wheel well, if I can get some light in the situation here, there's two like plastic nuts, and one stud's here and the other stud's under there somewhere. Take those out and there'll be a metal plate that comes off, and then you can fold this plastic cover back. Now once you get this plastic cover folded back, you just get yourself a drywall screw and run her through there into the other panel, and that holds it for you. That allows you access to the crank and to see all the oil that is in here. Yeah. There's oil everywhere. I don't know how well this picks up on camera, but there's oil all over in there. To get at these timing pulleys, I'm gonna remove or at least move this stuff. So I took this one radiator hose off, return hose, whatever you want to call it, and the power steering return hose off of here, and I stuck a couple vacuum tubes on here, vacuum caps I should call them, so that they don't leak out. Now these are just literally sitting in here, so you can just grab these and pull these out, and this is connected here by just a clip, so I'll separate that also. But that's more or less what I've done so far. So from this point forward, we're going to do together. Now, I have never done this before, and we are not going to do this the right way. So I'm just telling you that right now. But let's jump in this and just start pulling some shit apart. Push it in while you pull. Oh, there it went. Okay. Something like that. So this you can just set over to the side, and then this other one should be able to kind of more or less do this. Oh, there's a connector down here, don't forget that. A Deutsch connector. Okay, and this hopefully just get out of our way also. So with these reservoirs out of the way, we got pretty decent room to work in here. Give you a little view of what's going on down there. Now, there are 3 timing marks. One on each cam pulley, which if I can get you in here, I believe the timing mark is an M. So there's an M here towards the top and an M here towards the top. Now, on the underside of this cover, there are 2 notches. One here and one here. That's what those M's where the timing marks on these pulleys line up with. There's also a timing mark on the crank down there somewhere. I don't know where. So we're not going to worry about that one, hopefully. If this all goes sideways, well, then I guess we're going to have to find it. So the correct way to do this is to buy the cam locking tool and the crank locking tool from someone. I have no idea how much they cost. I never even looked them up to see where you can get them from or anything. I did none of that. The cam locking tool, you have to take this cam sensor out and then all this crap off in order to install it on the back side here to hold the cams so that they do not move. Now, I did watch a video of some guy going on a rant that said, if you do not use the tools, don't call me. Now, I am going to mark a tooth on this crank and then mark it on the casting or the block or whatever you want to call it. So when this all does go to shit, at least we can try to get it all lined up off the reference marks that we have. I'm also going to mark where this M is. I'm going to mark the belt so that when I put this back together, if the belt lines up with the marks, we should be good. Now, I don't know if it's going to be possible that we'll be able to get this lined back up. Really doesn't matter where the belt is, obviously, as long as you have all the timing marks in the right spot. But it's just one more thing for reference. Well, I got this all marked up. Make sure you use the same paint marker as the last guy. Adds a little excitement to the job. There's a tensioner right here. Now there's a 10mm bolt on the end, and then there's a spot where you can put an Allen wrench in it. This pulley is on an eccentric. So as you move the pulley, it kind of does one of these motions and adds and releases tension on the belt. I'm going to leave that tight right now because I want to crack the bolts loose for these pulleys. And if I take the belt off now, I have no way to hold the cam. So this is a T50, supposedly. It's kind of loose in my opinion, but I actually already took this one out. These are like drain plugs on the end. You pull this out and then there's another T50 bolt inside here that holds the pulley to the cam. So first we take this one out. Now oil is going to come out of here. I know that because I did it already. But oil will come out of there, so you might want to catch that or let it drain, whatever. We'll crack these loose. We're not going to take them off, just crack them loose. I just don't want these cams to move at least as little as possible while I'm doing this. So I'll get you set up on the old tripod here, and you can watch me screw this all up. We need a reservoir to catch the oil that comes out of here, so just give me a minute. Okay, now bust this open. Oh no. Alright, take that under here, spin this out. Look at that. This one I already dumped everything out, so I don't know. Oh, see? Catches it too. 2 in 1. Okay. I have no idea what these are torqued to, so I have no idea if this is just going to come out. This Torx is not the right size. So 50 is not the right size. See, it's moving a little bit on me. Come on. I don't know. My Torx might be stripping out. I don't want to ruin that bolt. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a Torx big enough for that bolt. Must be like a T55, T60, if that's even such a thing. I don't know the T's. So I'm going to have to go pick one up. So that's about all as far as I can go today. unfortunately, a guy's working tomorrow, Saturday, and then I have a birthday party, and then NFL draft is in town, so I got to go check that out at least. So I don't know if I'm going to be working on this tomorrow, which is fine. Get back on it Sunday. I'm in no hurry. It is what it is. So, yeah, I will see you when I see you. Yo, new day. Now, today, not going to lie, going to be a little slow. I went up to the NFL draft last night. Good time, but I may have had a few too many beverages, which is hard to believe, seeing as they're $16, $17, $18 a piece. So you get 3 beverages, and it comes out to $50-some. And then they want a tip, and you know, the least amount to tip on the little screen there is 15%, so that's another $8 or so. Yeah. No, thank you. But nevertheless, we're gonna power through. I got myself a concoction here. It's actually just Gatorade, Alka-Seltzer, a little vodka. I'm just kidding. There's no Alka-Seltzer in here. Just kidding. So, I got a T55 Torx to get these pulleys off of here. I actually already loosened this one up, but we got to go after this one. So let's get that one loosened up, and then we can get this back, get our marks lined up again, and pull the belt off, and then we can pull the pulleys off, get the seals out, and figure out how we're going to get new seals in there. All right, so this one, it was in there tight. That's for sure. So hopefully this one's not in a very good spot. Hopefully this one will come loose a little easier. Come on. There she went. All right, cool. Whew. Hurts the palm. All right, so these are both loose. Now we need to get this back, get our timing marks back to where they were. So we need to get our marks lined up. The way you're actually supposed to do this is you're supposed to roll the engine past the marks and then bring it back. I believe the reason being is with this phaser advances and retards your timing or the cam. So if you have your cam here and then you have the pulley with the phaser in it, when you roll past the marks and then bring it back, the pulley actually moves back, but the cam stays wherever it is. So I don't know that it really matters, honestly, but we're just going to do it how they say to do it. I would assumptions, you know what happens, that this cam should be keyed to the pulley. So as long as your mark is lined up when you put it back on, should be fine. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to get on the crank nut. Now I'm using a 1.25" socket, which is way too big. I believe it's technically like a 30mm nut, but this works. So I'm just going to roll this over from down inside the wheel well until I go past the marks and then bring it back. Right there. Perfect. Okay, so we can get rid of this now. And I believe we are ready to take tension off the belt and pull the belt. Before I do that, I'm gonna hose this crank down. Actually, I'm not, because I can see my mark. Yeah, I'm gonna hose this crank down, get the oil off of it, so I can touch up my mark. All right, we're ready to remove tension on this belt. Now, I'm sorry I can't get you in here, but essentially this pulley or this idler wheel, whatever you want to call it, is on an eccentric. So you need to loosen the nut up in the middle, and then there's a tab with a spot where you can put an Allen wrench in. So once you get the nut loose, you can rotate that eccentric essentially. Okay, that's loose. Oh, this must be spring loaded. So this will be the last time this motor is ever ran. Okay, that came off and this all comes off. Perfect. So I'm just going to try to just set this in here somehow. Something like so. Hopefully I can remember how that goes back on. Probably should have taken a picture or something. Alright, now we can finish taking these bolts out of here. Wherever my ratchet went. Come on. Come out. Oh, I didn't think this was going to come off that easy, but it did. So, there's a pulley. Can you see this? There's a front VVT pulley. Beautiful. Set that to the side. Whoops. Take the other one off. Oh boy. There is no keyway. Oh boy. Huh. So it looks like there is no keyway for this crank. That is hard to believe. So yeah, you do not want to rotate this cam when you take that pulley off. That is most likely why they have the cam locking tool, obviously. That makes me extremely nervous. Well, I am completely blown away right now. There is absolutely no keyway or anything in this pulley that verifies that it's aligned up correctly on this cam. So, yeah. I am extremely nervous right now. I mean, I could have rotated that cam a little bit when I took these bolts out. There is nothing, honestly, right now saying that this is even going to be lined up on that properly. So I would highly recommend buying the cam lock parts. Like, buy all the correct tools to do this. Yeah, I could go buy them right now and stick them on and whatever. But I'm not going to. I'm in it now. I'm just gonna let it ride. We're gonna throw this new seal in, new seals I should say, and we're just gonna ride it out and see what happens. I would highly not recommend doing this. Buy the right tools. But I did pull this seal out already. I'm gonna throw the new seal in this one. We'll move on to that one. Originally my plan was to take a piece of 2-inch pipe and set the new seal on here and use a bolt to pull the new seal in. I'm not going to do that now because I do not want to rotate this cam. So we're just going to probably just see if we can kind of hammer it in. Hopefully it goes in easily. I don't know. But I cannot believe that there is no keyway or anything. It's literally just held in there by any sort of press fit that's there. Friction. That's the only thing that's holding that pulley on that cam. Okay, so I got my new seal here. This is a Felpro seal kit, TCS 46187. There is different kits, whether or not you have VVT or not. But I cleaned this with a little bit of brake clean already. I'm going to put a little bit of silicone around the outside of this seal, along with some garbage that I just picked up on my finger. And now hopefully this just goes in. Come on. Okay. So this is just a 2-inch piece of pipe. It's perfect for this seal. Now, like I said, my original plan was to use this to push the seal in. I was just going to put a piece of plate or something on the back side of this with a bolt to push it in. Luckily these go in pretty easy, but I am going to try to use this just to make sure I got it seated in there good. It looks like it is. So that's good. Okay, so that one is done. That one's in there. So I'm going to pull that one apart now, which makes me nervous. But it is what it is. We're in it now. It's going to do it. Where did my Torx go? Well, this bolt's a lot longer, seems like. Well, I guess they're the same. But I'm going to keep them separated just because. Okay, now hopefully this just comes off without rotating. Like that. Same setup. No keyway, nothing. Not a damn thing. Now I'll try to pull this out without rotating this cam. Okay, there it went. There's our old seal. Clean this all up in here now. Now we should be able to just slap this in there, hopefully. Don't think my pipe is going to fit in there though. Oh, come on. Don't be doing that. There we go. Come on. Okay. That should be in there. So, our seals are replaced. Now we can start putting this thing back together and hope to God that we don't screw up our timing. Here we go. This is how we're going to put this back together. I'm going to set this back on here like it's supposed to be. Okay. Now I am going to take a little bit of Loctite and put it on the threads of this bolt. Don't need a lot, just some. Maybe a little more than that, but anyway. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of assembly lube and put it on the outside of this, where the sealing surface is. I cleaned this inside really good with brake clean and everything else, because I want to make sure that when I put this back on, I have the most friction, I guess you'd want to call it, holding these together. So I'm just going to put a dab on the outside here. So that I don't ruin my seal. You don't want to burn that seal up right away. Kind of defeats the purpose of doing this. Okay, now I'm going to line my mark up, wherever that is, right here, with the mark on this timing, or on this cover. If I could see what I'm doing. I'm going to hopefully use my belt to determine where my mark should be. I hope. It's probably not the best way to do it. This is probably the most sketchy thing I've ever done while assembling an engine or whatever. I would not recommend doing this like this. I'm going to leave this loose because I might have to pull it and rotate it a little bit. Okay, now I need, what do I need? I need this. Said I already cleaned this up really good. Put a little bit of assembly lube on this. This one at least I can see. Oh boy. Okay. Whoa, too much. So I think I'm going to try to put this belt on now and try to use my marks on the belt to verify that I have this set up correctly. Well, I think I got everything lined up and I got my belt tensioned. This took a lot of time, extremely tedious. I more or less used the paint marks on this belt to line up this one because I can't really see this mark very well. So I got this one lined up, got my belt on here to more or less use it to get this one. It looks pretty good from the angle I'm at right now, but now I need to tighten these bolts up. Now this phaser inside here will probably rotate also. I might tap on these to just get them seated so that the cam doesn't turn either. I'm extremely nervous. I don't really know what I'm doing. Yeah. Once I get this all put together, I'm going to rotate it over a few times with the ratchet just to make sure nothing hits each other before we even think about trying to start this thing. I'm extremely nervous right now. This could go really, really, really bad. Really bad. Well, it's all back together. I tried rotating it over a handful of times with the ratchet. It just takes too damn long. I can only move this much at a time, and then you run into a compression stroke and it's a pain in the ass. So we're just gonna let her eat. Yep, I went through this fuse box. I can't find the right fuse for the ignition or any of that kind of stuff. I might be able to just unplug this cam sensor and maybe it would not run and just turn over. But I could use a little excitement, so we're just gonna start it up and hope to God that everything is okay over there. So place your bets. I'm extremely nervous. I can't even explain to you how nervous I am right now. But here we go. Please don't blow up. Please don't blow up. Please don't blow up. Whoa, sorry. Sounds like we might have done something wrong. Huh. Well, that's nice. Huh. I think we did something wrong. Yep. Sure did. I guess I'll be ordering some tools and doing this all over again. Yo, new day. I look the same, but it's a new day. At this point, I kind of need to more or less put my tail between my legs and say, This job was way more intuitive than I thought it was going to be. I should have done more research. I should have watched more videos. I should have got the right tools, but I didn't. And sometimes that's just the way it goes. You don't know what you don't know until you put the time in and do the research. And that's okay. It's the way it goes sometimes. Hopefully you can recover from it. And at this rate, pretty sure we can. But now that we have the tool, we're going to have to backtrack a whole bunch. By that being said, I have absolutely no idea where the cams are at anymore. I don't know where any of the timing is in this engine. So we're going to have to pull the dampener off, get the crank at top dead center so that we can get the cams at top dead center, lock them out, and restart this whole process over again. And putting these cam pulleys on, I did that completely wrong. Like, not even close. So we're going to do it the right way. I am extremely lucky that I didn't smash these valves, because this is an interference engine. So I'm lucky that I didn't smash these valves into the pistons or anything worse. Luckily I can recover from this. Sometimes that's not the case. And luckily the tools were really cheap, 30 bucks. Like, after watching some of the videos, you can't do this without the cam lockout tool, whatever thing. So if you're going to do this, start there, buy that. Don't do what I just did. So with that being said, I did a little bit of work already, getting some stuff off, and I'll show you the tool, how to use it, and hopefully recover from my screw up. Let's get it done. So this is the cam lockout tool. So it's just a couple pieces of metal that bolt together that have some grooves in them that go into the back of the cam. Now I've already pulled this much of it apart. What I did have to do was I had to pull this engine mount off of here. There's just 4 bolts plus the 1 bolt that goes through the top. And then this other plate, which covers up this other cam sensor here, like so, for the engine mount to mount to this and whatever. There's 3 bolts that held that on. So I got that all off. Now on the end, on my engine anyways, has a cam sensor on both cams. Some only have 1. Some have like a plug that goes in here and you need to replace this if you rip it out. On this I have 2 cam sensors. So I pulled one of the cam sensors off already, just 2 torques. Now this goes on like so. And then once you pull this off, 1 plug on here, this will be inside. So this is what, this is like a magnetic pickup or whatever, and knows the position of your cam. On the back side of this, you'll see it has 2 grooves for the cam and then 1 other groove for like a notch that's in here. Let's see if I can get you in here. So on the back side of this cam, as you can see, there's 2 grooves and then another groove that aligns to this, that notch there. In order for this to be in time, now I don't have the crank in the right spot, and who knows, these probably are not going to be in, well, they shouldn't be in the right spot anyway once we get that top dead center, but these should be horizontal. This 1 notch on this cam should be pointing at 2 o'clock. The one on the back side back here should be pointing down at like 4 o'clock-ish or somewhere down in this area. So once we get those set up, we'll get this mounted on. But to start, we're going to pull this belt off, and then we're going to pull the dampener off, which is 5 bolts, I believe. You can't see in here because it's too dark, but a big bolt in the center, which is a 30 millimeter, and then 4 10 millimeter bolts. So I already have all those bolts loose. I'm going to pull the dampener off, pull the belt off, and then I can show you where the timing mark is to get that at top dead center. And hopefully our marks on the top here should be pretty close, I hope. And hopefully we won't have to rotate too much stuff around, but let's at least get the dampener off. I'm just going to do that quick. And then I'll get it at top dead center and bring you back in. So here's the crank with the dampener off. Like I said, there's the big 30mm nut, which I put back on to rotate it with a ratchet, and then 4 M6 bolts. Now up on top of here, there's a little notch, which you can see better from here. But that notch is right on top there. That lines up with the notch on the block. I'll have to find a picture on the internet to really show you. And with that at top dead center, right here is where our mark is. Our mark should be up here, where this yellow paint marker is. So you'll see we're probably 45-ish, well, maybe not even. I don't know, we're some ways off. Which if we go look at our cam, yeah, we are off that amount. So I can't believe we didn't smash the valves on this thing because we are way out. If I had to guess, if I was a betting man, when you put these phasers on, you're supposed to rotate them clockwise. And I'll show you how to do that, whatever, once we get that far. But for now, I'm going to pull those pulleys back off. You've already seen me do that. Pull the pulleys off. I'll get the cams at top dead center, and then we'll go ahead and start putting that back on. Something I didn't show you is this is actually a crank lockout tool thing too. It's supposed to go on the side of the block somewheres. I'm not going to pull anything more apart, even though I'm this far, but yeah, I haven't learned from my first mistake, so who's to say I'll learn from the second? So I'm going to start assembling this. Now, the bolts that this came with are extremely long, and the original bolts are too short, so I did the right thing and grabbed a nut for a spacer. So we'll get this in here. Come on now. I got this cam locking tool on. It's kind of a janky setup, but it's going to work. It's better than what I had before. So now we're going to move back to this side. And I've already loosened the T55 bolts up in here. And I also loosened all of these bolts up that hold the gear or pulley to the VVT hub. So these are loose now. So, M is not mark. It's actually, you can barely see it, but there's a itty bitty teeny weeny dot right here. And this one, I don't even know where it is. I don't even think I found it. Oh, right here, somebody marked it. That's actually your timing mark. The M is not the timing mark, so we screwed that up completely. But I am going to, I'm going to put this thing on a tripod and then show you what I'm going to do. So I snugged this center bolt up just enough so that when I rotate this VVT hub, it locks counterclockwise and clockwise. Also, these 3 bolts are still loose, so this pulley rotates. So at the end of the day, all that matters is once you get the belt on with the cams locked and the crank at top dead center, that these VVT hubs are both turned all the way clockwise. So what I'm going to do, and I already did it to this one, is with the hub, or I shouldn't say the hub, with the pulley halfway through the slot on these bolts here, I'm going to get it so that my mark is lined up. So that way, once I put the belt on, if I need to rotate these a little bit, I can, and I know that with this clockwise all the way, I'll still have room in the slot. So that's kind of what I'm going to do now. It's going to be trial and error, just loosening and tightening this bolt to get my mark to line up and to still have slot. But I feel like that should be good enough. So I'm just going to loosen this up a bit like that. Now, when you rotate this, the VVT inside, it might rotate a little bit, so I'm actually probably going to go a little bit past it. Like that. And then once I tighten this back up, it might bring it back. Okay, so that's tight. See, now we're locked all the way to the right. Pretty damn near, I'm actually freaking perfect. So that's good. So now these get torqued down to like 60 to 80 foot-pounds. So you just, yeah, yeah. Okay, those are tight. So now we can throw our belt back on, set our tension, and make sure these are clockwise. Once they're clockwise all the way, tighten these up. Shebang, she good, she done. Should be good to go. I am going to verify my timing down there just because, and I did already. It looks great, perfect. So let's get the belt put back on. Okay. Okay. So now I can tension this, which is supposed to be right here apparently. Okay, I think I have everything kind of how I want it. So now I'm going to tension the belt. If I could find my wrench and my Allen wrench. Okay, so that's tight. Belt is on, tensioned. So now all we need to do is I'm going to put the drain plugs back in wherever they went. Actually, I don't even need them. I can just grab them with this. Make sure that these hubs are all the way clockwise. And then we just tighten these 6 bolts up, and that's it. Done. Whew. Nice. I gotta find the drain plugs. Oh, they fell on the floor. Both of them. There's one. There's 2. Okay. Before I put those on, I'm just going to give these one more good oofka. Hey. Yeah. Right before they break. Okay, perfect. Put these back in. See, that one moved a little bit. I don't think we're to our... Okay, we're not to the end of the slot, even though it's damn close. It's actually closer than I would like it to be. Oh, actually, no, we're going away from the slot. Okay. Tight. Now we can tighten these bolts up. If we had an extension, we do have an extension. Don't go ham on these. Actually, I'm going to use a 1/4-inch ratchet. Okay, beautiful. All put back together the way factory said it should be. Okay, I took the cam lock tool out, so now's the moment of truth. If I can rotate this thing over 2 full revolutions, we should be good to go. So let's find out. I have a light in here that's dead. There's one. Oh, and there's almost 2. Where's our mark? Right there. Okay. Whew. I should get that mark lined back up so I can check my timing. Can't see. That looks pretty close. I'm a little bit past where my mark's at. Yeah. Bring it back just a hair. Okay, this one looks beautiful. This one actually might be like a tooth off, which it is. But that's okay, like I said, as long as these VVT hubs are all the way clockwise when you put the belt on and it's at top dead center, it doesn't really matter. So, that is good. Back to square one. So, I'm going to call it a night, honestly. But I think I might throw this back together, and then next time you see me, we'll try to get this bad girl fired back up. Have a good night. Yo, new day. Final day, hopefully. I got the engine mounts on that side, got the cam position sensors on, plugged in, I think. Air box all put back together. Dampener on, belt on. Just got to put the power steering reservoir and coolant reservoir back on, and then hopefully this thing will run again. If it doesn't, I'm going to be honest, I gave $500 for this car. It'll be going to the scrapyard if it don't run. It is what it is. So I'm going to finish this up, and we'll twist on the old key. Well, it is the moment of truth. I am pretty nervous right now. But let's see what happens. Crawl on this side. I can't get in over there. Keon? And? You see it? Yeah, I got new wipers for the headlights. I don't give a shit if it runs. Got new wipers, boy. Actually, I'm just messing with you. If you want to see this thing run, tune in next week. I'm just messing with you again. I'm just really nervous. I don't want to start it. Let's see if it'll go. I am extremely nervous right now. Please start. Please start. Please start. There. They said it couldn't be done. Purrs like a kitten. Might also be dumping oil like a kitten. I think it's leaking oil like crazy. Don't put your hand in here. Maybe not. I don't know, it looks like it's leaking oil, but... Or it looks like it's misting something. But maybe it's just... residue. Let's wrap on her. Sounds good. Sounds smooth, actually. Should open the door. Get the turbo spooled up. Oh yeah, she purrs. There must have just been oil on the belt or something, because that misting is gone now. Back in business. Sweet. Shut her down. Fire back up. Like a frickin' dream. Ready for another 100,000. Well, I am extremely, extremely, extremely relieved. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Whew. Well, looks like we dodged a bullet. She runs smooth. Initially, when I first started it, it looked like it was like misting oil out of this area. Must have just been like residual fluid or whatever on the belt and the pulleys and whatnot, because once I wrapped on her a few times it went away. I think what I'm going to do now is I got some engine degreaser. I'm going to throw the wheel on, back this thing out. I'm going to hose this all down, wash it up, and then take it for a little spin, bring it back, see if we're leaking. Even last time, honestly, when I drove this around the block, it didn't really look like it was leaking much. I had to really look for it. So my heat just kicked on. I don't know that I'm going to see anything, but I at least want to cruise it around the block a couple times just to see, and we'll see what happens. Damn heat. It's friggin' almost 70 degrees outside. Well, she's purring like a kitten. No issues at all. No engine lights, ABS light, but that was already there. Probably got a wheel bearing going out somewheres. If I knew which corner, I'd fix it, but I don't. If you have these out of time, they will run, but you will get an engine code, and we don't have one, so we know we are spot on, good to go. Like I said, I cleaned this up, degreased it before I went on this little joyride. So when we get back to the garage, we should be able to see if it's leaking oil anywheres. Just gonna cruise it around for a while. Got my seat heater on. That's right. It's a luxury turbo sedan. She's got seat heaters. But I'm just gonna cruise this thing. We'll see you back at the garage. Well, let's see what we got. Nice and clean on top. Super dry. That's good. Son of a bitch. That means it's still leaking. If not worse, I don't know. Why? It literally looks exactly the same as it did before. Why? Why? Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but right there, that's that brown spot. Yeah, that's all oil right there. And then it's running all up along this plastic shroud, just like it was before. Looks like it's coming from underneath that pulley once again. So I really don't know what to do at this point. I mean, it's a brand new seal. I can't imagine it's the seal. But I really don't know. I could have lied to you, told you everything was great, but I'm not that kind of person. If I do something wrong, I'll own up to it. I'm not perfect by any means. But as for now, I'm not touching it. I gotta get this thing out of here. I got something coming this weekend that I need to utilize this garage for. So, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm obviously missing something. I'm going to see if I can find some prints. Maybe there's supposed to be a gasket inside that VVT hub somewheres. I don't know. I'm going to do a little research, see if I can find some drawings quick. So I did some looking around at diagrams. There is one other seal which I saw when I had the hub off. It goes inside the hub so that it seals the hub around the camshaft. The seal we replaced, however, is outside of that seal. So if that was leaking, it should be leaking back in behind the seal we replaced. And I put, silicone around it, so I can't imagine that it's leaking behind that and coming out. However, if there's enough pressure, it may be pushing it out. Somebody did comment and say that I should look at my PCV system. Maybe it's gaining pressure and it's pushing out. That's, the path of least resistance. Maybe that's where it's coming out. I don't know. I did notice one other thing that I don't know how well I'll be able to show you, but I'll try to show you, and potentially it could be an issue. Let's see. Now, I don't know how well you're going to be able to hear me or see this, but I noticed that this hub had a little bit of a wobble to it. On camera, camera, it probably looks perfect. In person, it almost looks like it's out of center. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. So I noticed that that hub had like a little bit of a wobble to it when I diagnosed this in the first place. I just kind of assumed it was the hub and ignored it. But now that I think more about it, you know, that has a phaser inside, so it advances and retards the cam. So there's got to be some sort of mechanical makeup in there. I don't know if that can wear out and cause it to wobble, which causes it to leak. I don't know. Just throwing things out there, just talking out loud. I don't know. But I think for now, I'm just gonna throw the panels back on. Another day in the future, come back to it when I have more time. Maybe by then somebody on the interwebs will enlighten me on what's wrong with this. Somebody did comment already to look at the PCV system. This does have a big old turb ski on it, so it's possible it's getting blow by and you're getting pressure inside the engine and then it's coming out of that seal. Maybe that's the path of least resistance. It is the exhaust cam or exhaust seal, whatever. I don't know that that makes any difference or not. But what I do know is I need this garage for a super secret project, which is something I've never done before. So please tune in for that. I will probably screw it up like I normally do. Also tomorrow, I'm gonna go get a project, which probably isn't gonna be much of a project. Not sure, haven't seen it, but I bought it. And I'm going to get it tomorrow. Finally, our schedules line up to where I can go get it. I want to get back on the tracker. I really want to try to get the Javelin running, do a will it run on the Javelin. I whipped up some concoction with Marble Mystery, transmission fluid, mineral spirits, sea foam. I dumped like anything and everything in there. So it should spin over like butter. Been in there for a couple months now. So that's what I got going on in the future. But as of right now, this needs to get put back together, get the hell out of here, and maybe I just scrap it, sell it, smash it. Not sure. But if you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, and catch you on the next one.